It is more dangerous to drive at night than during the day because A. You cannot see as far ahead at night. B. The road is always more slippery at night. C. Your reaction time is slower at night. A. You cannot see as far ahead at night. With decreased visibility and the glare of oncoming headlights, you cannot see as far ahead at night as you can during the day. Always use headlights and exercise caution when driving in the dark. To help others see you when daylight begins to fade, you should use your A. Parking lights. B. Low beam headlights. C. Emergency flashers. B. Low beam headlights. As daylight begins to fade, turn on your low beams to help others see you. Only use your high beam headlights in an open area where no other drivers are present. This yellow sign means A. There is a sharp turn to the right. B. The lane must turn right. C. A right turn is permitted on a green arrow only. A. There is a sharp turn to the right. Some warning signs have a fluorescent yellow-green background. These signs warn of upcoming conditions, including roads with curves and sharp turns. You are approaching a green traffic light and traffic is blocking the intersection. What is the best thing to do? A. Partially enter the intersection to establish your right-of-way. B. Don't enter the intersection until you can get completely across. C. Continue into the intersection and wait for traffic to clear. B. Don't enter the intersection until you can get completely across. Even if your light is green, you must not enter an intersection unless you can get completely through the intersection before the light turns red. If you block the intersection, you can be cited.
Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
Which of the following driving skills are affected by the use of alcohol and/or drugs? A. Alertness. B. Coordination. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Alcohol and other drugs can negatively affect a number of skills needed for safe driving, including a driver's reaction time, coordination, alertness, and ability to concentrate. This sign means A. Merge. B. Winding road ahead. C. Reserved parking for persons with disabilities. A. Merge. This sign warns that two lanes of traffic going the same direction will soon merge into one lane. To avoid glare from the headlights of an approaching car? A. Look briefly toward the right side of the road. B. Stay focused on the centerline on the road. C. Flash your high beams. A. Look briefly toward the right side of the road. You should avoid looking toward the bright lights of an oncoming vehicle by glancing toward the right side of the road. After looking briefly toward the side of the road, continue looking ahead to check on the position of the other vehicle. Before returning to your original lane after passing another vehicle, you should A. Beep your horn. B. See both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. C. Flash your headlights. B. See both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. When passing is permitted, look for both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. Only then may you safely return to your original lane. If you are about to be hit from the rear, you should not A. Release your seat belt. B. Brace yourself. C. Press your head against the head restraint. A. Release your seat belt. If your vehicle is hit from the rear while you are in forward motion, your body will be thrown backward. Brace yourself by pressing against the back of your seat and putting your head against the head restraint to prevent whiplash. Maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel and be ready to apply your brakes to avoid being pushed into another vehicle. If you have had several beers, the effects of alcohol will be reduced only by A. Taking a cold shower. B. Waiting several hours. C. Drinking several cups of coffee. B. Waiting several hours. The only way to remove the impairing effects of alcohol is to give the body time to remove it from the body. Drinking coffee, physical activity, or taking a cold shower will not speed up this process. It takes about 1 hour to cancel the effects of one drink. A pentagon-shaped sign is a A. Stop sign. B. Regulatory sign. C. School zone or school crossing sign. C. School zone or school crossing sign. A 5-sided sign is used to alert drivers to a school zone. Some pentagonal signs specifically indicate crosswalks within school zones where children or other pedestrians may be present. If pedestrians are illegally crossing in the middle of the street instead of in a crosswalk, you A. Must stop for them. B. Do not have to stop for them. C. Should honk your horn at them. A. Must stop for them. You must yield to pedestrians at all times. If the pedestrians are jaywalking or crossing the street where they should not be, you must still stop for them. A flashing red traffic light at an intersection means A. The same thing as a yield sign. B. The light is about to turn green. C. The same thing as a stop sign. C. The same thing as a stop sign. A flashing red light at an intersection means drivers are required to come to a complete stop, yield to traffic and pedestrians, and proceed when the way is clear. The same is true at a stop sign. To pass on a 2-lane road, you should A. Sound your horn as you pass. B. Flash your headlights as you pass. C. Judge the distance to any oncoming vehicles. C. Judge the distance to any oncoming vehicles. It can be hard to judge the speed of oncoming vehicles. They do not always seem to be coming as fast as they really are. Always be sure you can safely change lanes when passing on a 2-lane street. If you are not sure of an oncoming vehicle's speed, wait to pass until the oncoming vehicle has passed and you are sure there is enough space for you to change lanes safely. When approaching an intersection controlled by a flashing yellow light, you must A. Come to a complete stop at the intersection. B. Maintain your normal speed. C. Slow down and proceed with caution. C. Slow down and proceed with caution. A traffic signal displaying a flashing yellow light indicates that you should be alert and proceed with caution. Slow down when approaching a flashing yellow traffic signal. When driving in fog, you should A. Slow down and use your low beam headlights. B. Slow down and use your high beam headlights. C. Turn your lights on and off to warn other drivers. A. Slow down and use your low beam headlights. When driving in fog, you should slow down and use your low beam headlights. If the fog is so bad that you cannot see, pull off the road and wait for the fog to clear. When you are merging onto the freeway, you should be driving A. At or near the speed of traffic on the freeway. B. 5 to 10 miles per hour slower than the speed of traffic on the freeway. C. The posted speed limit for freeway traffic. A. At or near the speed of traffic on the freeway. When merging onto a freeway, you should enter at or near the speed of traffic. When stopping on snow or ice, drivers who are operating vehicles equipped with an anti-lock braking system (ABS) should A. Pump the brakes. B. Press and hold the brake pedal firmly. C. Stay off the brakes and wait for the car to drift to a stop. B. Press and hold the brake pedal firmly. When driving a vehicle equipped with an anti-lock braking system (ABS), a driver should press the brake pedal firmly when stopping on a snowy or icy surface. The ABS will pump the brakes more rapidly than a driver would be able to. Excessive speed? A. Does not increase the chance of a crash. B. Increases your ability to react to a hazard. C. Often leads to high-risk decision-making. C. Often leads to high-risk decision-making. Excessive speed is one of the most common contributing factors to vehicle crashes. Excessive speed does not save time and often leads to high-risk decision-making. When you see this black and yellow sign, it means A. The road to the right is for one-way traffic only. B. There is a detour to the right due to road construction. C. The road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. C. The road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign tells drivers to slow down and prepare for an abrupt change in direction at an extreme angle. Signs with orange backgrounds are A. General warning signs. B. Construction and maintenance warning signs. C. Regulatory signs. B. Construction and maintenance warning signs. The color orange is used only for construction and maintenance warning signs. Before switching on the ignition, you should A. Buckle your safety belt. B. Be sure all passengers have buckled their safety belts. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Develop a routine for entering and leaving your car. Before switching on the ignition, buckle your safety belt and see that all passengers do likewise. If you park facing uphill on a street with a curb, set the parking brake and A. Turn the front wheels toward the curb. B. Turn the front wheels away from the curb. C. Leave the front wheels straight. B. Turn the front wheels away from the curb. When parking uphill on a road that has a curb, your wheels should be turned away from the curb. When parking uphill on a street without a curb or when parking downhill, your wheels should be turned toward the curb or edge of the road. What message will be found on this yellow pennant-shaped sign? A. Right turns only. B. Right turns permitted. C. No passing zone. C. No passing zone. Pennant-shaped yellow signs like this are used to indicate a no passing zone. On a green arrow, you must A. Yield to any vehicle, bicycle, or pedestrian in the intersection. B. Yield to pedestrians only in the intersection. C. Wait 4 seconds before proceeding. A. Yield to any vehicle, bicycle, or pedestrian in the intersection. A green arrow means go. You must turn in the direction the arrow is pointing after you yield to any vehicles, bicycles, or pedestrians who are still in the intersection. When parking next to a curb, you should use your turn signals. A. Only when pulling away from the curb. B. When pulling next to, but not away from, the curb. C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. Drivers should signal when pulling next to a curb or away from a curb. Reaction time is slower after A. Drinking alcohol. B. Sleeping. C. Working hard. A. Drinking alcohol. Alcohol slows your reflexes and reaction time, reduces your ability to see clearly, and makes you less alert. As the amount of alcohol in your body increases, your judgment worsens and your driving skills decrease. You will have trouble judging distances, speeds, and the movement of other vehicles. A vehicle suddenly cuts in front of you, creating a hazard. What should you do first? A. Honk and step on the brake firmly. B. Take your foot off the gas pedal. C. Swerve into the lane next to you. If oncoming headlights are blinding you while you are driving at night, you should A. Look toward the right edge of the road. B. Switch your lights to high beams. C. Turn your lights on and off. A. Look toward the right edge of the road. If the headlights of an oncoming vehicle are blinding, glance toward the right edge of the road instead of looking directly ahead. This should keep your vehicle safely on the road until you pass the oncoming vehicle. When entering traffic after being parked at a curb, you A. Should drive more slowly than other traffic for 200 feet. B. Should wait for a large enough gap to get up to the speed of traffic. C. Should wait for the first 2 vehicles to pass, then drive into the lane. B. Should wait for a large enough gap to get up to the speed of traffic. Any time that you merge into city or highway traffic, you should wait for a gap in traffic large enough for your vehicle to get up to the speed of other traffic. You should not start across an intersection if you know you will block the intersection when the light turns red. A. Under any circumstances. B. Unless you entered the intersection on a yellow light. C. Unless you entered the intersection on a green light. A. Under any circumstances. Even if the signal is green, you must not enter an intersection unless you can get completely across before the light turns red. If you block the intersection, you can be cited. You are crossing an intersection and an emergency vehicle is approaching while using its siren and flashing lights. You should A. Stop immediately in the intersection until it passes. B. Pull to the right of the intersection and stop. C. Continue through the intersection, pull to the right, and stop. C. Continue through the intersection, pull to the right, and stop. If you are in an intersection when you see an emergency vehicle approaching while using its flashing lights and/or siren, continue through the intersection and then drive to the right and stop. You must yield the right-of-way to any police vehicle, fire engine, ambulance, or other emergency vehicle using a siren or flashing lights. Before beginning a turnabout, drivers should A. Honk to alert other drivers to their intentions. B. Be sure their vehicle is visible for 500 feet in both directions. C. Come to a complete stop in the middle of the road. B. Be sure their vehicle is visible for 500 feet in both directions. A turnabout is a legal way to turn a vehicle around. When you are considering using a turnabout, you should first make sure your car can be seen for at least 500 feet in either direction. When passing another vehicle, A. Pass the vehicle as slowly as possible. B. Drive at the same speed as the vehicle you are passing. C. Pass the vehicle as safely and as quickly as possible. C. Pass the vehicle as safely and as quickly as possible. When passing another vehicle that is traveling in the same direction as you, pass quickly to resume visibility. Return to your previous lane only when you can see both of the vehicle's headlights in your rearview mirror. This road sign means A. Steep grade ahead. B. The road ahead winds with a series of turns or curves. C. Slippery when wet. C. Slippery when wet. Warning signs provide notice to road users of a situation that might not be readily apparent and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers to be careful when driving under wet conditions, as the pavement will become slippery and more difficult to navigate safely. Posters, signs, and stickers on the windshield and windows. A. Are a fun way to personalize your vehicle. B. Are permitted if they allow the driver at least a little visibility. C. Are prohibited, unless they are otherwise specifically required by law. C. Are prohibited, unless they are otherwise specifically required by law. Obstructions on windows are prohibited. No sign, poster, or sticker may be placed on any window of any vehicle, unless it is specifically required by law to be on the vehicle's window. Your license can be suspended if you are under 21 and drive with a blood alcohol level of A. 0.15% or more. B. 0.08% or more. C. Any amount. C. Any amount. There is zero tolerance for alcohol use by drivers under age 21. If you are under 21, the detection of any trace of alcohol in your system will result in stiff penalties, including the suspension of your license for 2 years. This sign means A. Pedestrians walking along the road ahead. B. Pedestrian crossing ahead. C. Pedestrians must not cross here. B. Pedestrian crossing ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign alerts drivers to where pedestrians may be crossing. If a pedestrian is crossing in a crosswalk marked with this sign, drivers must stop and remain stopped until the pedestrian is no longer in the crosswalk. To avoid hydroplaning while driving in rainy conditions, you should A. Drive at a speed appropriate for ideal conditions. B. Apply your brakes as soon as your car starts to skid. C. Slow down. C. Slow down. When driving too quickly in wet conditions, your tires may lose all contact with the road surface. Loss of traction will cause the vehicle to ride on top of the water, which is called hydroplaning. The best way to prevent this from happening is to drive more slowly in rainy or wet conditions than you would when driving during ideal weather conditions. Broken yellow lines are used on streets and highways to A. Indicate no passing zones. B. Separate lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. C. Separate lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. C. Separate lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. Yellow lines separate traffic moving in opposite directions. Dashed lines on the pavement indicate that passing is permitted when safe.